Okay, welcome back to Thrive in the Future. This week, I have Matt DeRozier, Joseph the Homestead Padre, and Grant Payne with us, and we're talking about spring planting. How's it going, guys?
Going good,
Going
Scott.
great.
Doing well.
All right. So,
Long time listener, first time caller.
Yeah.
first time caller. That's funny. So, what new stuff are you planting this year? Matt, we'll go with you because if I start with Grant, then it'll be 45 minutes from now.
Uh, I've been transplanting cactus, so that's
Really?
fun. So I have cactus that grows on my property, and it's kind of weird, but it's like they call it brittle prickly pear,
Huh.
and it sure is brittle and prickly. But I started potting them in like these cheap little pots from Hobby Lobby, and I ordered little signs. Let me
Uh-huh.
go see if I can find some. Ordered little signs from Etsy that just says "prick" on them, and I'm gonna try to sell them.
That's awesome. So
Where'd it
are
go?
you still thinking about selling your place?
Possibly.
Okay.
It's leaning that way. So
Mm-hmm.
it's in a day job. I'm gonna want to be outside. Oh,
Well, now you're cutting
where
out.
do I put
You
this
went
thing
to
here? There we
you went
go.
to the back 40.
Can you see that?
Yeah, but your audio's cutting out. And there we go. That's cool.
All right.
So you got it in like a rock garden as well, right? Okay.
I think he left us.
Yeah. Joseph, how's it going down there? What new interesting things are you growing this year?
Um, well, we've started to sell freeze-dried herbs.
Yeah.
That's the route we've gone this year. I've only found one other company that sells any of them, and it's like $86 for like 5 2-ounce bottles, and those are culinary herbs. So we're
Uh-huh.
focusing more on on the more medicinal herbs. So I have a lot of flowers planted. Chamomile, nasturtium, zinnias, things like that. And then for our farmers market, we did vegetables last year after the previous vegetable vendor left. Well, he came back, and glad he came back because he brought all his customers back with him. So the market's been great so far this year. So we
Great.
are focusing on more exotic and lesser known fruits and vegetables.
Hmm.
So like we have Kajari melons growing. It's a like an Indian cantaloupe basically. Um, I have a crop of corn called astronomy planted. I think you sent me some astronomy seeds.
Yeah,
And
astronomy, Domine, yeah.
yeah, I ordered 2 more packs, so I have a large block of that planted right now, and it's actually doing really well so far. And
Wow.
then uh, Peruvian sugar bowls, Ayote squash, which is a green Peruvian squash or Ecuadorian squash, generally grows in the rainforest mountain areas,
Hmm.
but it's supposed to taste like chocolate when it's cooked. It's a
Are you
green
still going to
squash.
be able to grow that stuff when you move to South Carolina?
Some of it I can, some of it's going to require a greenhouse.
Okay.
But
Yeah, so
I do plan on
what's it
keeping the
called? A
unique.
Ruvian,
The which one?
the squash, the one that tastes like chocolate.
Chocolate. It's a Ayote.
Ayote, okay.
Ayote.
Yep.
It's Ayote squash. Um,
I think I've
and then
seen somebody made that into alcohol once.
you can make anything in alcohol, but we I got that, and then like Black Beauty tomatoes. Um,
Yeah.
so some of the more unique heirlooms, we're growing those, and we're going to take those to market. So we'll be selling right beside the other fruit and
Hmm.
vegetable vendor. But like I say, he'll have the common stuff. We'll have the unique stuff. We might not sell any. I don't know. But we're going to give it a shot. The main focus is the freeze dried herbs this year,
Yeah, I
and
saw
then the
you had
tea,
a yeah, I saw
and the
you had a
tea.
picture of freeze-dried candy.
Yeah, yeah, that's a big market seller. We don't consume it at my house, but it's paying for the machine. It's paying off the
Uh-huh.
machine. So
What kind of candy are you freeze-drying?
we have. I just did a batch of sour gummy bears yesterday. We did Skittles. I've done Jolly Ranchers. Jolly Ranchers are really popular. I'm gonna try Lifesavers
Huh.
tomorrow. I've never seen anybody do Lifesaver hard candies, so I don't know if they just want freeze dry or I mean anything will freeze dry, but the other candies puff up,
Uh-huh.
which gives it that uniqueness. So it may be a fail, it may not be a fail, and won't
Interesting.
know till we try it. And then
That's
I got to
cool.
do a whole batch of sour cream. I got to freeze dry that soon.
Sour cream?
Yeah,
Hmm.
it'll freeze dry into a powder, and then we just reconstitute it as we need it.
Yeah.
That way you don't worry about it going bad.
Wow. When are you gonna have
Oh my
some
gosh, I
new
would love one of those.
yeah, that'd be interesting. What do you when are you gonna have some more of the hot sauce?
I'm not sure. We haven't really focused much on hot sauce because we didn't sell a lot of it. Um, like we kept it kind of as a novelty item, but
Right.
I've had my attention elsewhere trying to build something,
Yeah, sure.
and I haven't put much focus on the hot sauce. But we will be getting at least the mango habanero,
Mm-hmm.
and we're going to have a pineapple habanero.
Oh
So
my gosh.
those hopefully in the next month or so.
Okay, let me know. I will buy both of those. I go through the mango habanero like crazy. It's perfect on eggs.
On eggs.
Yeah, put it on scrambled eggs.
Never
Huh.
thought about putting them on eggs. That's a great idea.
Everything's
Oh, wait,
broken up. I can't
boiled
hear
egg?
much.
Yeah, I put them on scrambled eggs.
Hmm.
So, Grant, what about you?
Um,
Here we go.
no. Yeah. Here we go.
Go.
Are we sticking to garden? Are we
Sure.
sticking to plants and vegetables? Okay.
Well, just yeah. What new and interesting things are you doing this year?
Oh no.
Here we go.
Okay.
There we are.
I'm gonna turn my camera on for
I can
that.
hear again.
Great.
So we have our 100 hazelnut trees came in Monday. We're getting another shipment from Iowa State Nursery next Monday. We have, let me pull it up.
They're actually sending them to you. I thought
Yeah,
they were not going to send them that far
that,
outside of Iowa.
that was Kansas.
Oh yeah, okay.
We have planted 90 Monarda or bee balm. Excuse
Yeah.
me. 324 Hypoestes, 288 Vinca, 370 Terenia, 180 Ageratum, 100 Scabosia, 432 Impatiens, 100 Gora, about 120 Rudbeckia.
Are
We
those
have
all flowers?
um yes, they're all flowers. So it's a mix between the perennial flowers and annual plants. The
Mm-hmm.
Ageratum, Vinca, Terenia, Impatiens, and Hypoestes are all annuals. Everything else are perennials. We have 250 strawberries coming next week, 200 lavender plants, 100 echinacea coming next week.
Wow.
And then we haven't even started our vegetable seeds yet. I might honestly wait until like the first week of May and direct sow everything. Um, we have petunias in hanging baskets. We have purslane in hanging baskets. We have portulaca in hanging baskets. Um, I've still been hitting up Lowe's clearance. The local Home Depot, their plant supplier,
Yeah.
shut down. They closed. So Rainbow Nursery completely shut its doors. And then the local Lowe's decided, oh, it's a good idea to order an extra 50% plants this year. So the clearance this year has been fantastic. Unfortunately, the store manager changed and he does not like doing discounts, but you can still go in depending on the perennial, depending on the price. If you buy a plant for $2 to $5, if you can split them in half, you're still making good money.
Yeah.
A plug is anywhere between 89 cents for perennial to $1.20. The Rudbeckia was about $1.20 per plug. You pay by the tray of 100, so they're not exactly the cheapest plugs. Those are the most expensive we got, and those were the worst looking they shipped.
Yeah.
We have had 3 whole trays completely die. We lost about 700 plants.
Wow.
All of them were comped. The nursery does very good. We buy them from a North Carolina wholesale greenhouse.
Hmm.
So if there's a shipping issue and they look bad, they will comp you the whole tray. So that is nice. With annuals, a tray of 288 annuals might only be $40.
Hmm.
But a tray of 100 perennials cost you 130. So it really varies. It really depends. We've got our meat broiler chicks going on to pasture next Wednesday. We have 9 piglets going out. They were born 3 weeks ago. We've got to castrate the 4 males, and then we'll probably sell the 5 females off as feeder pigs. Maybe keep one. Um, we've got
And
goats. We've got 16 goats kidding in May.
goodness,
Um,
your chickens are all pre-sale, right?
yeah, they are.
Yeah. How's
I
that
think
going?
we sold 60. We've sold about 60 of them already. We're keeping
Goodness.
30. So we only have 30 left to sell. 2 people are waiting to call me back because they want to order more. I think a lady wants to order another 10 or 20 more. Her and another gentleman want them for the entire year.
Hmm.
So that's a plus because she ordered. She said they said they wanted to try them out. I said the way chicks went this year, in February they were already sold out through July.
Yep. Yeah, we've
So
got the
we
same thing.
we placed, and this is Murray Hatchery. I'm not gonna use any backyard nurse or hatchery. There's a ton of hatcheries. A lot of those hatcheries basically drop ship birds from larger hatcheries.
Hmm.
It's kind of funny. So you may place an order with them, but that order gets filled by a larger nurse hatchery.
Right.
So I'll stick to just
When I
buying
get moved to
directly
South
from the big.
Carolina, you just buy from me.
You gonna sell me Cornish crosses?
That's what you want.
How you gonna do that?
Yeah, am I gonna do that?
What do you mean? How you gonna sell me Cornish crosses?
I'm gonna hatch them and I will sell them to you.
Okay, I mean, how are you
I,
gonna
I got,
hatch
I
Cornish?
got, I got, I got a ton of hatching equipment. I just don't
Yeah,
have
but
any of. It's all in storage right now.
you can't hatch Cornish crosses. They're infertile.
Bro, you know how like sex works, right? Like, let's.
Yeah, I know, but those birds are so big, and they have to artificially inseminate some of them. Like we went ahead and slaughtered all of our bronze turkeys because they got too big to even procreate.
Uh-huh.
I'm pretty
Most of
sure
those
Padre
breeds,
didn't stutter. He said he'll sell them to you.
if he can get them for me, I'll buy them from him. But we're gonna eat all of our double-breasted bronze turkeys because they're too big to procreate. They can't even jump up there, and then so mostly every single one of those breeds gets artificially inseminated at the factory, at the hatchery, which is kind of crazy that they have to AI a chicken. Um,
AI and chicken.
so I mean, or a turkey. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't know. I don't know how they make Cornish cross. So
but we are shooting off all angles. We're still doing land reclamation from the farm. We're still taking down trees, cleaning up fence lines. We're gonna get the half-acre commercial garden tilled under probably in 2 weeks. So we're getting the pole barn up 96 foot by 40 foot. So all the topsoil from the pole barn is getting moved and leveled out where we're going to have our commercial garden.
Good
So when we get
Lord.
it tilled under, we're going to plant it with milpa that I got last year. I'm just
Yep.
going to use that whole bag on that half acre. It's been a year. The seed viability has probably gone down. So I'm going to say it's fine. And then we're just going to overseed it and run it through with the harrow. And then we're going to probably either run the hogs on that at the end of the year, or B, pick it, or just seed till the whole thing under. And then we've got Tico on. I don't know if I have the bag. Yeah. So I talked to Tico, the biological supply guy on X. I talked to him on the phone for about an hour yesterday about his product. It is basically an inactive biological culture that we're using in the greenhouse on our plant starts, on our seedlings, on our plugs, everything. We're using it in the raised beds, pastures, garden, everywhere. Which we're gonna be spraying that and then getting in John Kemp's program of soil spray and soil inoculants with that cover crop. So we're gonna have the milpa cover crop. When that's terminated, we're gonna plant a cool season cover crop there, and then we won't have a vegetable garden. Our half acre garden will not start until next year. I figured we'll just cover crop it for 2 seasons, or and then it can wait. We have enough raised beds and everything that I still have to make that we shouldn't have a problem just to have more tomatoes than we can eat. We already have 27 dozen chicken eggs sitting here that I don't know what to do with. Um, so yeah, and we're also hatching like 8 dozen ducks right now. Too much. That's what we're doing. It's too much.
Wow,
I
that's
just want to
crazy.
say I've already found 2 suppliers of Cornish cross hatching eggs.
Good.
See, I'm already doing research.
Well,
Drop
I mean,
shipping. Drop shipping Cornish cross to you.
we'll try them. I mean, if they can grow 6 pounds in 8 weeks, I mean that's the key.
That's the way they're supposed to do.
So we've got like I think a total I have about 650 trees coming: willows, poplars, birch, mallow, 9-bark, and then the 100 hazelnuts we got this past week. Those are going to go in the chicken run. We've got to build the chicken run. I already have a coop. I'm going to convert into my original chicken tractor that I built with my dad in 2019. We're going to convert that into a chicken coop. It's about an 8x10, so it's not bad. You can probably roost 120 birds in there realistically. I mean, they pack in pretty tight, especially if we add multiple levels of roosting. We're going to hopefully do deep litter on that. We've got to get the duck area built. We got to finish the geese breeding pens. Yeah. And then Destiny wants me to make a pond.
Wow.
So I've got to I guess make a pond.
That's like 10 years worth of work right there you're going to do this year. I don't know
I'm
how you do
trying.
it.
Oh, I would have to say the most important thing I have going right now is my comfrey.
Oh yeah, comfrey.
So I turned that comfrey you gave me, I bought from you, and you sent me some. I have 94 plants.
Yep.
And then I got
And that was
about
only
50.
like only 2 crowns and you turned it into 94 plants.
Yep. And then I got from this other guy.
And folks, you can get some of that at grownutrees.com.
It's worth it. You cannot have enough comfrey. And then I bought 55 more 2-inch chunks from this one guy. He sold them to
Yeah.
me for like 90 cents a piece. I couldn't beat that.
Yep.
So I got those planted. By the time it's said and done, I'm probably gonna have, 160 plants that I can divide.
Yeah,
Plants all around the farm.
have you done hazel or not hazelnut, horseradish?
I still have my small pot of horseradish. They're not doing the best.
Hmm.
Um, I'm looking forward to my soap ginger coming back. I got them with the horseradish. I've got to start my rhubarb seeds this year. I've got 3 different varieties of rhubarb to start, let alone the countless number of vegetable seeds. We went absolutely buck wild on um, Baker's Creek, looking for I was hunting for unique plant families that you can basically stuff and cram into everywhere.
Yep.
There was several different plant families that you don't typically find anywhere. So I was very happy to get some of that, and especially if they're edible. Um, yeah, yeah, a lot to
Cool.
do. I don't
Oh,
know
I
how
did
I'm gonna
start.
plant 600 trees.
Speaking of trees, I did start moringa trees. That's the one I forgot to mention.
Oh yeah, moringa. I can't grow moringa unless it's in the greenhouse. It won't grow outside. So, but yeah, when it's in the greenhouse, it grows all the way out to the roof of the greenhouse, and I have to cut it at some point. Wow.
Grant, what's your
Yes.
soil like for the pond?
Um, Pasture.
Okay, let me ask you again. What's your soil like for the pond?
Um, I don't know. Honestly, what I've
Clay,
heard,
sand,
clay.
silt.
Where I'm in Georgia, bro, it's clay. It's clay. It's clay and rock.
All right, man. Never been to Georgia, so couldn't tell you what the soil's like. Clay's good. That's a good start.
It is. What's even better is that the water table here is low
That's good.
and it's technically in a flood zone. So we probably could hit a spring very easily. And then
Hmm.
we can hitch it off into the creek.
Hmm. That's interesting.
Slow and
Yep.
spread.
So yeah,
So
um I've got the cursed Callery pears growing everywhere, the ones that sprouted out from the rootstock of Bradford pears, and they're like taking over my pasture. So I've topped them and started grafting on Asian pears. So it's like the guy who sells me the guy who sells me the scions from 39th parallel, he says I'm going to be the Asian pear king here pretty soon. And then I
What do
got
you
this go ahead.
what do you end up doing with all them?
Well, I eat them. They're really good. There's this one kind that he has that it's, so it's a round pear, and it it has a butterscotch flavor to it. So it's really juicy, and then it's got like this butterscotch type of flavor to it.
That's pretty crazy. I've never heard of such a thing.
Yeah, it's really good. And yeah, so I've got some of that going on, and I've grafted a bunch of those. I've got more to do this weekend. If it'll stop, it's supposed to rain, so I don't know if that's going to be possible or not. And then I've got a bunch of new apples. I've got some. So what do you guys think of this? One of the challenges with apples is that if they're grafted, you're going to have to irrigate them. You can't just put them in a pasture, they'll die, right? So I've got some apples that I've grown from seed. I've got some apples that I bought that were from seed, and you can put them out in a pasture. You don't know what you're going to get, but they'll grow into a full-size tree, and you might end up with some really cool stuff. Otherwise, they're good to use for cider or for wildlife.
can I
That
ask you a
sounds good to
question?
me.
Go ahead.
So with the grafted apple trees, is there a certain point where you no longer have to irrigate them?
Yeah, but it most of the time, especially here in Kansas, you either have to have them on swales or
Okay.
irrigate them. So all of mine are on swales. The ones that I started, I've got a couple of them in the back 40 that did okay because it was a really wet year, but most of the other ones that I planted in the pasture without irrigation didn't live. I've got
Okay.
some that are in beds that I started first with milpa and got real deep, and then I planted them. I've got them up and down my driveway, and those aren't irrigated, and they seem to be doing okay.
Okay. That's
But
good.
and then but I've got some space in the back 40. I'm going to alternate them with chestnuts. And I got this new chestnut called Resilient that is from Iowa, so it's more cold resistant and it also tolerates a little bit more wet conditions. And I'm going to put it back there and try it as well.
I do have a question about your chestnuts.
Go ahead.
When are those going to be ready?
With the new ones that I got going,
Yeah,
the ones that I planted from seed or for the other ones.
the ones you planted from seed, all your new varieties.
Yeah, all the new ones will be in the fall. So they're
Okay.
already coming up like crazy. This one is called Empire Elite, and it's the main chestnut that they plant to turn soy and cornfields into chestnut farms.
Okay.
So it's from Route 9 Cooperative in Ohio. So I got like a pound of seed from them and planted them all out. They sprouted, and there's a couple of them in the greenhouse that are already 6 inches tall.
That's awesome. The all the ones I got from you, I think I've got 42 in a bucket now.
Yeah,
It's like a 30-gallon bucket. They're already like 2 feet tall. They're leggy as crap. I didn't get light on them fast enough,
yeah.
but they're bushing out now. I think it's going to be a pain to have to separate, but
Yeah,
I'm
you
really
may
happy.
you may have some challenges just because, they're real big on a taproot, and if you've had them in there too long, they might have got all wound together and stuff.
Yeah,
But
I'll have to unwrap. But what I'll probably do is cut the side of the pot open and then just use a water hose to wash all the dirt away, and
yeah.
then go pot it or plant it like a bare root.
Yeah, I got some of those hazelnuts from Iowa last year, and when they came, the root system on those, and they were like $1, right? And
Hmm.
the root system was so wide that I had to put them in 5 gallon. I had to put them in like a big Rubbermaid trash trash bucket.
That's big.
That's how wide they were. So I put a whole bunch of them in there because they wouldn't fit in even 5 gallon buckets.
Hmm.
So yeah, and uh, and I've got some elderberry that I got in the other day that's very similar to that, and it's super wide. I'm gonna have to uh, I'm gonna have to sell them local because I'm not gonna be able to ship them. They're too wide.
Well,
But
that's good.
I've got rooted hazel that is left over from last year that were in buckets last year. I thought they were dead, but they came back with a vengeance, and they're going like crazy. So I'm gonna plant some of those down around this pond we have, and then also use some as a living fence, and kind of I'll make a row of willow, and then I'll make a row of hazelnuts on the inside of that.
How close do you plant your willow?
I don't know. I had it figured out at one point. Probably they'll probably be 10 feet or something because I want them to be like a fence, right? And then in between in a row inside of that, then on the field side of that, I'll plant hazelnut.
All right, we were going to use the ones I got as like windbreak
Yep.
and fodder trees for the goats. So I'm
Yep.
gonna be planting those every 2 feet along their fence line.
Yeah,
And
I think that's what um Ben Falk does.
okay,
He plants them like that, and they're only like a foot or 2 feet between them,
yeah,
right?
it's pretty. I mean, they grow really. It's really cool to see. But then I was gonna kind of come in the front and then plant sunchokes and comfrey and some other things that can be used as fodder for
Hmm.
them. I need what I do need is I need a source for wormwood. I cannot. I don't think I can get enough wormwood. Um, Is that something you would start from seed, or is you
I've
basically is that division of
Yeah, I've
fruit?
never been able to start it from seed. So, but I've got a whole lot of it. I got like two plants of it at one point, and I've turned them into 6 or 8 plants, and they grow like crazy here. So,
Oh,
and as you know, the chickens will eat them as needed to work to, help, you
my
know.
chickens demolished mine. It's just now coming back, but they absolutely demolished it. And
Yeah,
then
see, I can't put comfrey or anything around my chickens. They don't like it. They don't like comfrey. They eat
my
wormwood a little bit, but for the most part, they don't care about comfrey.
the first comfrey crowns you ever sent me, I took it and ended up separating it. And then my chickens got out. They were free range for a while. They ate two of the original crowns you sent me,
Huh.
like that, the roots and everything. They're gone.
Yeah.
So they'll tear it up. I don't think I have anything that doesn't eat it. Like add what 24% protein on top of that. It's a green manure or or mulch. You cannot beat that with a 7 foot root system. You that's it's amazing.
Yep.
It's so versatile, especially to building resiliency on your farm. It's oh my gosh, I love it.
Yeah, I just got a order of chicory seed from Green Cover.
Oh heck yeah,
Eh,
that's one thing I've got to remember to do this year.
Yep. Because most of the ones like on Amazon that sell chicory, it's questionable. They're like some Chinese folks, um, just like most of Amazon is at this point, and just really bad reviews. So I went back and got some from Green Cover, and chicory does really well on my land, and the chickens like it.
Scott, back to your apple tree plan. Sounds like you guys are going to be at that property for a long, long time, and so you have time to let the apple trees grow and just kind of thin them out based on what
Yep.
you
Hmm.
like and what you don't like.
Sure. So that's the whole thing. I mean, since they're from seed, you could do the stun method on them, and then you could end up with some weird variety, because it cross-pollinated somewhere, right? And I've got some apples that I grafted that I got the scions from Skill Cult guy down in California. He's got one called Appaloosa, and he's got another one called Bite Me that really does well when I graft it. And I've got tons of trees that I planted that are red cinnamon, and they're a red fleshed apple that has a cinnamon taste to it, and I'm pretty proud of
No
that.
way. That's
Yeah, really,
crazy.
it's really good. And I got
That would
this
be a good
one.
cider.
Oh yeah, I got this one
Matt
that's
just found his favorite apple.
yeah, and I've got this one that I just planted that is tastes like juicy fruit gum. And I have another one that's called Milo Gibson that tastes like when you take the concentrate, the frozen concentrate, and you squeeze it out of the can, but you haven't added water yet, and what that tastes like, it's like super, super strong. It tastes like that. The
Hmm.
apple tastes like that, plus a little hint of orange. So it's soup.
Huh.
It's like eating that frozen concentrate. It's really, really good.
So
So I've got a
uh,
couple of those that I've grafted.
you got RV parking space at your house?
What?
You got RV parking space at your house?
Yeah,
I'm coming over.
that's cool. So so those are all the things that I've been grafting. I haven't really planted anything in the garden except potatoes, and everything else has just been trees, trees, and more trees. So I went to a grafting class on Saturday morning, learned how to do the cleft graft, and then I did a grafting class in the afternoon. So it was a big weekend.
This is specifically for apples.
Yeah, it was apples and pears.
Did you make any connections?
Yeah, there's a guy that works over at the garden store, and he came over and I showed him how to graft it.
Oh, nice.
And so yeah, and then I got that, and yeah, all those things are going on. It's pretty great. And I'm going to a homesteading conference here, not this weekend, but next weekend. See what kind of connections I can make. It's up in Missouri, up towards the Iowa border.
Huh. What big names are they going on there?
They got Joel Salatin there, and they've got that
Nice.
Jamon Milosevic guy. That
I'm not
They'll
familiar
always
with
draw the
him.
crowd.
yeah, exactly. So then and then the Jamon or however you pronounce it, Jamin. Um, he lives up in New Northern Missouri, and he's got some permaculture projects that he's been talking about working with me on.
Ooh, look at
So
you.
I need to go talk with him face to face because he's really hard to get a hold of.
Oh, I see.
But yeah, so yeah, all everything
Nice.
has been. Oh, and I've been growing the bloody dock. You know, the sorrel that has the red veins to it.
Red veins.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. It's really
Yep.
awesome to put that in a regular salad. You know, just add it a little bit to your salad and then give it to a guest or something. It freaks them out. And then they taste it and they're like, "Wow, this is, you know, because it's got a lemony taste. It adds a nice taste to the salad."
Oh, that's why you don't put a lot in it.
Yeah, you don't put a lot in it because
Okay.
it's pretty strong lemony taste. So, you know, and that's yeah, and I got a bunch of that going. I stuck a bunch of willow in a glass of water or a mason jar of water, and they're all sprouted out. And then I've got figs for the first time this year. I planted them in the fall, and it looks like they're coming back.
Nice.
And those will be Chicago hardy figs.
I'm planting rain.
Planting rain.
That's what they call it. You got to
I
plant the
know.
rain.
Yep, I know. I actually use that. I use that um, in a presentation to sell the idea of swales because
Nice.
my client didn't understand it, and I said you've got to plant the water because we don't get April showers bring May flowers. We get torrential thunderstorms and then a bunch of drought in between.
That's wonderful. And then
And
he
so,
got it. He took the picture after that.
yep.
So
And
this
then
is what I've been doing this whole time. I've just been pulling this dead sage here
uh-huh.
and I'm just piling it up in areas to create shady spots.
Okay.
So because the sun is actually pretty intense here,
Hmm.
you wouldn't think so, because I know you guys like. And while we were talking, it started snowing on me. So, but like you get ah, almost dropped my phone
It's
again.
like 90 here.
Yeah, uh, it ain't. It ain't here. So I still have all these piles. Flip around. There you go. So I still have all these piles of dead sage that I pulled last year,
Yeah, I remember
and
that.
I have like this like basically dead hedgerow going on right here
Uh-huh.
to to keep to keep the sun off of the ground, and so hopefully it holds more moisture. Um, but also like I've got some. I can't even remember what I planted over there. Something. I planted something here.
So are you going to
Spaced
pile
them out.
dirt on that, or are you just going to let them break down?
I'm just, I mean, things don't really break down here. Like I'll show
Okay.
you probably a sage bush that's probably like 100 years old that's dead.
Huh.
Things don't rot and decompose unless they're whoop, stepped on some of that cactus.
But they'll slow down the water, right?
Yeah. So as long as you can reduce that evaporation,
Sure.
and it also provides habitat for critters and such. So let's see, where am I at here?
Yeah,
Here we go.
I got something like that. It's all possum land.
This stuff here has probably been laying on the ground here and it doesn't rot. It's just it's like that. It's hard, not that it's dense. It's just not enough moisture here for
Huh.
it to rot and decompose. And so
That's interesting.
See, I have the opposite problem. You can buy treated lumber that's made to touch the ground, and it's rotted out in 2 years.
oh man. Yeah, you could probably get away with not buying treated lumber almost. Almost. Depends on what it's for, like fence posts maybe. So yeah, things are like I was at the table saw for I don't know, probably 8 hours on Saturday to turn old deck boards that I had got from somebody
Mm-hmm.
into usable lumber to make more garden beds because I don't feel like buying $25 IBC totes and that were filled with chemicals
Yep.
and putting plants in them. So
Uh-huh.
I'm just building. I got enough material for 10 more 4x2 garden beds that'll end up looking like this when we're done.
Wow.
So
Wow,
there'll
those are
be
nice.
bunch here. I gotta put them in, and I got a bunch of cardboard to stack, lay out, and then throw pea gravel just like this. Throw pea gravel on top of that cardboard.
Uh-huh.
So should keep all the weeds down.
Yeah, that's good. You do the pea gravel around around the beds or on the bottom of the beds?
I'll do it around them.
Uh-huh.
I have heard people like they need to put stuff
Yeah.
under their garden bed, otherwise like weeds will grow right through the bottom. But
Yeah, I have that
I,
problem.
I don't know if that's actually true for me, anyways. Just because, like, I don't know. I feel like I'm going to end up picking weeds anyways. So
Sure. That's
there's
cool.
only so much fighting you can do.
That's right.
Oh, and let's not forget my rocks. I still
Your
have to fill
rocks.
in this whole wall.
Goodness.
Yeah, I'm about to have to deal with rocks.
You're about to have to deal with rocks.
Yeah, I haven't seen a rock in 12 years.
So what? You're overdue.
Oh, we're moving to South Carolina.
Oh, when's that
I
gonna
didn't.
happen?
Yeah, I didn't know that was for sure.
Yeah, next year.
How'd you decide on South Carolina?
That's where one of her sisters live. Her other sister's in North Carolina, about 2 hours away. And we're both from North Carolina, you know.
Mm-hmm.
South Carolina's laws are more relaxed than North Carolina. There's a lot more bureaucracy in North Carolina.
Yeah.
And so we were really heavily looking at North Carolina, but I just can't get around some of the laws up there. So we settled on South Carolina, and my wife's going to get a nice pay raise.
By going to South Carolina?
Yeah, it's going to be like 15,000 a year raise.
Wow. Good.
So and my son, he's a plumber, been a plumber almost 5 years now. He makes $20 an hour here. There's a guy up there offering him 32 an hour.
Wow.
So it's yeah, we're gonna make the move. I'm down to one sheep and one pig. We've gotten rid of all the rest of our livestock, and that sheep and that pig both will go in our freezer this year.
Wow.
And then
There you go.
chickens will be easy enough to move.
Uh-huh.
And then yeah, just kind of winding everything down. I just not disbanded. I shut down our LLC. I filed the paperwork for that earlier this week.
Mm-hmm.
And then canceling my my mind's drawing a blank right now. Tax bond. Canceling my tax bond this month. I'm going to close down my tax account with the state, and that'll be the end of my business in Mississippi.
Wow.
Just getting everything ready to move.
How's it
Mhm.
feel? Does it feel good, or does it feel like, man, I've been here. What, you've been there like 10 years or something, right?
Almost 12, almost 13.
Wow.
So feel bad, feel good. Because Mississippi just ain't cutting it.
It's stressful in the point that I know I'm going to have to start over. But it's exciting to start over too. I can take everything I've learned in the last 12 years and apply it brand new, clean slate. You know what I mean?
Learn from all your
And,
mistakes and just do everything 10 times faster because you know what not to do.
Yeah, I already know where I want to put stuff. We're looking at a property now. It's actually a small hobby farm already. So,
Wow.
It's got good infrastructure. Nice. Well, it has
Yeah.
infrastructure. Remains to be seen if it's good.
right. It can at least. I'm not opposed to tearing down and starting over, but if there's something that's usable, even if I got to adapt it a different way, that would be a nice
Sure.
start.
Yeah.
But the house is a fixer upper. No big deal.
That's good though too.
It needs new floors and everything, so it's bigger. I'm on 3 acres of land here. It's going to be a 5-acre spot.
That's great.
Sweet.
House is going to be a little bit bigger. Well, it's good. It's actually double wide. We live in a brick home right now.
When's this going to happen?
Looking at summer of 2026.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but when you buying this place?
What place?
This
When
place
you're talking about.
We're
So that's-
going up to look at it in a couple months.
Oh,
Mhm.
nice.
So,
Dude, that's pretty exciting.
like it's available, but it's not on the market yet.
Mm, I got you.
So we're not super rushed to get the paperwork going on it.
Sure. Because if I got you.
They're getting out of homesteading. It was a young couple. Young couples will come in and they'll some land and they chew way too much, way too fast, and they get overloaded.
Grant.
So it's kind of that situation.
I don't even know what that's like. I don't even know. I don't do that.
What?
That's funny. Oh,
To be fair, we are making it work.
But,
We are making money.
we got lake access. There's a large lake. And it's gonna be interesting. I'm gonna look at it and see what I think.
great.
It's
Nice.
Midland,
Congrats on
South
that.
Carolina. I got to get used to clay and rocks again, like Grant was talking about earlier, because down here it's all sand.
Mhm. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, and
I
you
have
won't
not-
have a market year
I haven't
round.
turned around. I haven't turned around and found a rock in years, so that's definitely going to be a change.
Yeah. Interesting. Well,
It'll
congrats.
harden
That's
your
cool.
hands. You got soft hands, Padre.
Pardon my hands.
You got
Yeah.
soft hands. Funny. Yeah, I had
It'll
to.
be.
I had.
I'm gonna miss my access to sea salt though. And really, it's South Carolina. If you go towards the coast and the sand hills, which we don't want to do because we're tired of sand, you can get really large tracts of land for the same price we're paying for 5 acres.
Mm,
We're talking 25 acres for the same price.
wow.
But I don't want to deal with the sand anymore. And what's so funny about that is I've been doing it for so long, I could probably move to the sand hills on a larger piece of land and do really well because I know how to handle it. I just don't.
That's great. Well, guys, got to call it an evening. So great talk.
Sounds good.
Wonderful.
Thank you, Scott.
You bet. I'm excited about all of the stuff we have planned. That's great.
Nothing but up.
That's right.
Nothing but
Nothing but up. Exactly.